That's cool. I just saw like a little water plane thing. It's just circling. Kind of like a bird of prey. Anyways, let's get started. Is desktop audio too loud? Am I too loud? I'm sorry if I am. I'm a loud person, I suppose. But I will be moving soon enough to look at Innsmouth girl. Oh, I don't have her pulled up. Give me a second. There she is. I started drawing her in Discord and no one was there. So then I was like, I might as well be doing this on stream when no one's there, you know? That's what life's all about. And as always, I have no idea what category to put this under, because I'm just drawing. So today it's under style and how to, because otherwise it's entertainment and I feel like it's not super entertaining. But maybe that's just me being a negative Nancy. Her eyes need to be a little bit higher up, so she can have her little mouth right here. I say little mouth, she has a giant shark grin. Then her eyes would go about here-ish instead. A little flatter at the top due to the angle of the head. Fun fact, the only reason I designed this character was because I was watching Manly Badass Hero. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. Don't tell him, though. I don't want him to get a big head. I say that like I'm anyone important. But I was watching him, and I was like, I want to draw him in the Sucker for Love style. Except the men in that game, don't get me wrong, they're not ugly, but they're not, like, interesting. They're just dudes who sometimes come in. So I drew him, but I wasn't really happy with it, and then I just drew an Innsmouth girl. Innsmouth is a Lovecraft story for anyone who doesn't know. I haven't read it yet. I bought a collection of HP on Kindle. I don't know if it's included. I'm stuck on the book that's about the, Necronomicon, so that's taking me a while. Of course, I don't have an actual Kindle. I have an iPad, so I can't even read it before bed because I get overstimulated. That's not here or there, though. That's no one's fault but my own. I am drawing her eyes all ways janked up. So let's just remove the facial lines. They're getting me more confused than they're doing me good. And then let's redefine her chin. An eye about there. The other one would be about here. Nose and mouth. I don't know why that was so hard for me that I had to redraw it like 7 times, but to each their own, and to me that's mine, I suppose. While I'm here, I'm just gonna do her eyes. She has very simplistic eyes, all things considered. She can have them as big an anime as they want, but doesn't change that they're void eyes. If you want to know what that means, no you don't. She gets really nice highlights when I'll actually, render them. But for now, she just gets these dead pits of death. And I'll include a little highlight, like right here. They do look better, though. I looked at, it's cursed. I looked at, Homestuck fan art, so you know it's good. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. When she has her, I'm just gonna color those in again. Those make her look dumb. I'd rather have her have black soulless pits than whatever that was. And then, I want her to have an open smile. And then we can show off all her beautiful sharp teeth. Something like that. And then, actually I need to pull up a reference image. I can't remember how I did her hair. I luckily sent a reference image in one of the Discords I'm in not too long ago, so I should be able to find it. Oh dang, that person drew some sick art. Okay, here it is. I want to sketch her hair in really quick as well. Because having all that forehead space is not... Oh, did I forget to... I forgot to draw her ears. Okay, give me a second. She is just very basic fin ears. But the fact that I forgot them is sad. There we go. Okay. And then she has her hair parted here. Since this is smaller, I'm going to simplify what I did for her bangs originally. Actually, I need to draw her hairline a little bit lower than I did. She does have arms, if anyone was wondering. Why would I draw them when I can draw other parts of her that are more fun to draw? Like her cute little hair. I'm drawing her mostly so I can experiment with tails. Because I had two different ideas. I just have a short tail, which maybe this is her before she transforms so much. I feel like the fin should go out further, actually. And then it can morph into a long tail as she becomes older. Because, oh goodness, I hate when it does this. Give me a minute. Sometimes my thing... just randomly makes itself way bigger than I want it to be. No, come on. I just want you to be smaller to fit the actual screen. Goodness. Give me a minute. I'm putting the start thing back on, just so I need to fix this. And I never know how to. Wendigoon, settle! Settle! She's not settling. Why would she? She believes she is the moral correct police. I don't want to close it. I just want to make it smaller. Goodness. No, not that. Not that. Gosh, it's always so annoying to fix this because I never know how. Okay. I don't want to close the window. I think I have to close the window. It essentially maximizes itself too big. And wait a second. Will this work? No, it doesn't work. Why would that work? Of course. It essentially maximizes itself to the point that I can't do anything other than minimize and close the thing. And I hate that it does it, and I don't know why it does it. It just does it. So, that's that. Close window. Reopen it. It should be back to the normal size. Also, yes, my dog's name is Wendigoon. I mostly just call her Wendy, though. My gosh. Also, I'm looking at this. Does this mean that my drawing thing isn't even the full screen size it should be? Because I always thought it wasn't, but then it was just, like, gaslighting me. Okay. And we're back. Don't question all of the stuff I have. I hoard information or something. Okay. Frickin' rulers. And of course this one stays. Of course. There we go. Rulers are great, except for when they're not great, and they are just horrible. Okay. Back to Fish Girl. I wanted her to have a more prominent tail. Okay, cut it short up here, about there. So she can have a nice tail. It looks like a orange slice right now. Don't worry about it. We'll fix it. We'll fix it in post, chat. I'm giving her some arms now. It's about time she has some. And yes, I draw in the wheel style when I want to do a cuter style. I don't know if that's what I saw it referred to as once, and that's now what I refer to it as, the wheel style. Because it looks like they drive on wheels. You can see her thumb at this angle. Dude, what if you had a hand deformity and you didn't realize it until you were drawing hands and someone accused you of AI? They're like, hands don't do that, and you're like, oh no. I'm sure you'd personally notice it sooner, but I think that would be kind of funny. This sounds like a joke, because I did know people who had weird hands in art college. I can't remember what it was. It might have been hands, it might have been something else, but someone was like, that doesn't bend that way in college, and someone was just like, mine does. And they're like, oh. But yeah, she's got her little wheel legs. And then let's get started on her big fluffy hair. You might say, if she's a sea creature, why does she have big fluffy hair? And the answer is, I like it. I like it personally. Her hair only looks this long because she's bending forward. Her hair is actually closer to waist length. Looks like she's just wearing a big old gestural hat. But she just has loose braids. There's too much going on that side. This is my no think song. Do 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 do. I'll probably need to redo her hair a little bit. I think it sticks out actually too much right here. It'd probably be something more like that, which then would shift everything else in the braid over a little bit more. Okay, and then for her outfit, she has high cuffed but loose flowing clothes. And then she has a corset that would of course go here. Probably redefine this waist bump a little bit. How can I even see what's going on in this drawing? I don't know. And then I never decided her bottoms. I only designed her top, naturally. Oh, she has a seashell brooch right here. Along with a necklace and a necklace. And then some rings. I didn't draw her hands either, but she does have rings. Because she's wealthy. She's one of those rich girlies. Oh yeah, she also has booba. Let's just put her in a skirt for now. And then, you know, funny joke, let's put her in fishnets. Perfect. There's her sketch for her as a little short-tailed fishy. And if you want me, I can redefine these waves in her tail. Similar to the waves in her ear. She's actually really cute with a short tail. Everyone was saying long tail, which makes sense. The long tail has a different charm, but the short tail is actually pretty cute. To be fair, the short tail would probably be when she's less transformed. Oh yeah, she transforms into a fish. That's the story. So probably that would be what it is. She'd be a little bit more pinky in this form than the sea green she gets as she fully transforms into it. Actually, let's sketch with that in mind. Me a nice like raspberry red colorant. Switch over to a bit cleaner of a brush. Not the cleanest brush, just a little bit cleaner. Inking thick and thin, probably. Get down to size 10. Give her a thicker eyelid up here. Oh, I also forgot she has little scales on her face. How could I forget such a cutesy detail of hers? Oh, look at that evil little smile. I love her. I've been wanting to draw her all day, but I haven't gotten around to it. It sounds like I've had this character for a long time. I haven't. She's honestly very new in my roster of characters, and she wouldn't go to the project I'm currently working on. She's just like a fun little unrelated blip of my timelines. I just like drawing her. I mean, I guess my thing is I need to make a portfolio. I always do. I never know what to put in a portfolio. I just need to stop being a little coward and email my professors and ask them. And then they'll probably be very real and be like, well, what job do you want? And I'll say, I don't know. And they'll say, well, you need to know. I just want to draw and be happy. And maybe if I buckle down and like actually got serious about content creation, I could do that, but I don't know. I don't think I have the personality for it. I wish I did. I don't think I do. At least it feels like I don't based off of all of the like art people on this website. They kind of it's specifically the art drama people, I will say that. They kind of make the art community feel less inviting though. And I don't think it's intentional, but I remember there was one person they were in art lore because they made the implication that most people who get a degree in art are like, you know, they're weirdos, they don't fit in. But she was pretty and cool and amazing. And yeah, that's like shallow vein, whatever. But I don't know. I don't think it's serious. And one person was like, everyone in art college is the nicest, sweetest people ever, so you're a horrible person for making this joke. And like, yeah, we can say that this person's a jerk for making the joke. But I went to art college, okay? Some artists are the nicest people you'll ever meet, and some of them are the worst people you'll ever meet. They're so mean. It's not a degree specific thing. It's kind of like business. Yeah, you might meet some, you know, pretty snotty people in business, but you can also find some really sweet people in business. It's not a one size fits all. You can admit someone's just being a jerk without then trying to bat for the other people. I don't know. And it's things like that where I'm like, well, do I really want to be a part of that community where people are taking things so seriously? Like, don't get me wrong, I love art, and I would love to, you know, be able to have a community. And I do. I don't think that my stuff is the best stuff at the end of the day. But am I going to be attacked for my stuff? Which, fine. You know, not attacked, but critiqued for my work? That's fine. Or am I going to be critiqued because I make an offhanded joke? Because it really feels like the second thing. That if someone doesn't like me, they'll be able to pin me down because I'm not what everyone else is. I'm not the nice person. Once again, not that I'm like mean or anything, just, you know, I don't fit what their definition of an artist is. Which is fine when they do it, but not when I do it. I'm not even saying that I do it, but, you know, I don't know. I'm just yapping to an empty room. There have been so many YouTubers that like I try to give a chance and they just play enough of what I consider an off comment. And you know, that's up to them. But it does make me remember just like how hostile the internet can be when you leave your safe spaces. And it's never by the people who you would expect. Getting that hate from like an AI dude, whatever, that's expected. Getting it from another artist because I don't agree with them, that's weird. That's weird. Not that it's weird, it's unexpected. You don't expect someone from your own house to start taking shots at you. But hey, that's America, dude. That's everyone's free right. Just because I am in the same space as you doesn't mean I have to agree. But that goes both ways. Why is it always so much easier for me to stream? To make art when I stream. I feel like the art isn't always as good, but like, I'm not getting as distracted as much. Which is good in its own way. That's not as much hand as I wanted. Oh. There we go. Just clean that up a bit more. What is she so hyped for? I don't know. Just hyped on life, I guess. Hyped that she found a human husband, so she doesn't have to marry a fish husband that she doesn't know. Speaking of that being what I was talking about a minute ago before I went nonverbal. There's so many things I see about like AI and like, oh, you can tell because folds go in places they don't exist, they shouldn't be, blah blah blah. And like, don't get me wrong, screw AI. I do know I need to get better at being able to like visually see it myself. But and like, shame on people for, you know, not being honest about AI. If you're gonna use it, say it with your chest, you know? Don't try to trick people. But what I will say about that is there are so many people who are like, oh, if you do all these 10 things, you can figure out if it's AI generated or not. And then they're like, here, look at this piece that, I don't want to be mean, it's not a very great piece of art. Like, you can tell kind of when you see this super hyper polished, oh, this is probably AI. But there are ones that look more or less like beginner stuff, and they're like, you see, the folds don't make sense on their stuff, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm not saying it's not important to know what AI and isn't AI. But at the same time, I feel like there are a lot of people who abuse it and just attack an artist. They're like, oh, it doesn't make sense why you put it there. And it's like, yeah, it's because I don't understand why I put it there. I just did. Reference didn't use one. I used my own brain, and sometimes that's wrong. Sorry. You know? I don't know. I think I'm subconsciously terrified that someone's gonna accuse me one day, and then I'll just have to admit, no, I forget I need references, and I have too much hubris. So I don't try and fix it. I don't try to look anything up. Like this shoulder. Does it make sense? To me. Does it make sense if someone's looking with it with like a hypercritical eye? Probably not. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, guys, don't look at my art with critical eyes. Look at them with biased eyes. Bubblegum KK from Animal Crossing? Oh my gosh, guys, let's get KK Slider to come to our island. I never know how to draw boobs. This weird fishy pendant. Why are you so sketchy with your inking layer? Great question. I don't know. I just am. And then if it's too sketchy, I go back and I re-ink the ink. That's just what I do. Don't know why. Couldn't tell ya. Oh, I forgot her big arse braid's supposed to go over this arm. It's fine. I'll push it to the side a little bit. And then she has a corset. I've worn a corset before. They're not that bad. And then I have the ribbon at the bottom. And then it was otherwise an opaque one that had some detailings, but doesn't look like it had anything major. In regards to structural differences. Back to the reference thing. Why don't I use references? Because I often can't find references that I want, the ones that, you know, fit. So I just choose not to use them at all, which is not a good way to be. Don't be like me unless you want to be dumb like me. If I truly ever need a reference for something, I'll try my best to find it or take a photo myself. But oftentimes I'm just too lazy. And that's not good. That's not bueno, chat. Yeah, look at her. Look at her go, my little fish girl. I'll just do that. Then we'll start working on her braids. I don't know why I give my characters braids when I hate drawing braids, other than they feel about right, you know? Oh, I forgot, her braids are actually kind of messy. I'll add a couple extra strands here and there. No, that one's too big. That would need to tuck in here-ish, actually. Things stick out here-ish. These are just, you know, the random hairs. Give her a bit more of a fair look, because that's what my girlie, she wants. She wants to be absolutely bonkos. She has this one. That a loose strand tucks in. Give me a second. We're gonna end that today, guys. See you later. Bye.